for yet another week. Cloudy skies have met the Greenville Triumph. This time, though, it's rain, not snow, battling them as they await their match against North Texas SC, the first road match of the season for North Texas. I'm Chris Kovic alongside me, Ross Davenport, and the fans making it out there and some sunshine maybe peeking through for the Triumph.
Weather's a darn sight better than it was last week. Got two solid defensive teams here looking to get the offensive spark going.
Yeah, and exactly that. Both these teams trying to pave the way maybe for some more quality chances out there after the last few matches. For Greenville, haven't scored a goal in the past two matches, and it starts maybe with the finishing and the runs in the back from Jake Keegan.
Yeah, Jake Keegan is really the only true striker on this Greenville Triumph squad. Has put himself in position to score quality goals, just hasn't had the finishing at times. There's one width wide there. He did have a big game winner early this season.
19 shots. He leads the league in that category, and of course the team, just five, have been on goal. 2 goals, of course, but with 19 shots to your name, you want to see some more quality with that.
Yeah, they've been relying on the crosses a little too much. Need to get a little more vertical, a little more killer instinct in the box, and the goals will come.
Yeah, we'll see if they can make that happen tonight with a pretty young defense of North Texas SC. But North Texas, on the other side, some finishing worries of their own. The only goal they got last week against Orlando was an own goal.
Of course, they came out of the gate super fast with Ricardo Pepe getting that early hat trick in the first game. They've struggled a little bit since then. Pepe out of the lineup this game and the previous one at the CONCACAF U17. So somebody else will have to pick up the pace here if they want to score some goals.
And North Texas 3-0 from that homestand to open the season, but haven't scored a goal from the run of play in the last 2 matches. Of course, the penalty kick goal in the 94th minute against forward Madison, and then that own goal last week against Orlando. So it'll be names like maybe Arturo Rodriguez that will have to come up top along with some other young faces we'll see from the squad.
Yeah, you've got two new teams here still coming together, still gelling, and there's still plenty of time for the offense to get going.
And there's Arturo Rodriguez from last week with a chance inside the box, but again, looking for the right touch to the ball as they approach inside the box. North Texas SC on the road for the first time this season, met by the rain and the Reedy River Riot. We'll see if that can dampen the spirits of the Triumph fans as they file into the stadium. Coming up next on ESPN Plus, it's Triumph and North Texas SC. Welcome back here into Greenville, South Carolina, as the Triumph await the match against North Texas SC. Both teams coming out onto the field as we take a look at our starting lineups, starting with the Triumph. Again, I'm Chris Kovic alongside me, Ross Davenport. Beautiful night for soccer after the rain has moved through. Here's our starting 11 for the Triumph.
Yep, same as the last game. Cole Seiler once again moving up from defense into the center midfield, where he really impressed last game.
Yeah, and that's really to help out that aerial ability, as Coach Harkes told us this week, in midfield to help win some possessions out there. On the other side, North Texas SC coming in, the limited squad here on the road for the first time this season. And of course, Ricardo Pepi away on bigger business, I guess you could say, with the U17 national team, but some talented young players still out there for North Texas.
Yeah, Alfuzani Jata comes in the center back position for the first time this year, replacing Callum Montgomery, who was on the bench earlier today in FC Dallas. 2-1 loss to the Dynamo.
Yeah, potent to the center back spot with Breck Evans, the captain, and Jata also in there with some leadership. And of course, May the 4th be with you, and nothing better than John Harkes there.
Quality Tifo, well done, well done.
Impressive from the Reedy River Riot, to say the least, with the select ball in there. And hoping for some nice Jedi battles out there.
Hope that man keeps his lightsaber to himself.
Yeah, no swinging at the opponent. As Jake Keegan will start things off, and we're underway here in Greenville. Happy to have you with us here on ESPN+. Greenville back home after the 0-0 draw with Forward Madison last week. North Texas SC coming off of yet another victory, 1-0 over Orlando City B. They were 3-0 on their homestand and now face one of the top defenses here in League One. Keegan, little through ball over to Omar Mohammed, but he'll send it on back to the keeper, Aviles, and up the left flank. Omar Mohammed dealing with an injury to start the season, but now, fresh off of his first start of the season, gets his third appearance here in the starting 11.
Brings some serious pace on that left wing, quick feet and great ball skills. You're familiar with John Harkes from his FC Cincinnati days, and slotted his way straight into the starting lineup, and he's looking to hold that position now.
And the Triumph are a possession-based team. That's their identity they like to use out on the field, but North Texas currently leading the league in average possession. As we move into our keys to the game, here, Ross.
Yeah, Greenville have struggled a little bit in the second half in their last couple of games, so they really want to go the full 9 tonight. And again, we talked about it in pregame, the finishing, the last touch in that final third. And then for North Texas, who's going to step up in the absence of star striker Ricardo Pepi? And then this is a bunch of teenagers on a long road trip, perhaps some missing prom tonight. I mentioned earlier in the game with Chris. Toughen up here on the road. It's a tough place to come.
Yeah, young squad for North Texas SC, but that's the way they like it. Groom the future professionals.
We've got 4 17-year-olds amongst the 11 today.
Jata losing the ball there, knocks down Keegan inside the box. No call on that shoulder to shoulder. And Jata, typically a defensive midfielder out there, he moves back to that center back spot, so already getting tested.
He looked like a midfielder playing defense on that play. You can't give Jake Keegan half a yard in the box, and gotta be careful there.
Rodriguez on the near side. This will move it through the middle. Tanner Testman, number 45 there, out of Hoover, Alabama, one of the FC Dallas U19 players, joining the squad this week. As the Triumph move the other way. Keegan on the left flank, not getting much help though, as Reynolds comes all the way back to stop him. Mohammed is intercepted there, tried to get to Keegan inside the box, and that's the worry for Greenville here entering today. What they do in the final third once they get there. They're so quick to the point.
Another thing that'll be a key for Greenville tonight is going to try and contain the energy of these young kids in the first 10 or 15 minutes or so. They'll be coming out fired up. They got these young legs that they know will go 90 minutes, no trouble. Greenville will want to calm them down here in this first 15 minutes and not allow them to get too far down the field quickly.
And we talked about the finishing of North Texas to start the broadcast, but keep in mind they have 2 straight clean sheets as well. So this defense has stood tall with their young prospects.
And on the ball there is captain Breck Evans, one of the real young prospects on this North Texas team. Earned that captain's armband with his play and his general leadership.
Yeah, Eric Quill, the head coach, calling him a warrior this week when we talked to him, and someone that's been playing out of position in terms of footing. He's left-footed this season, but Quill telling us that really that's going to help him out down the line, makes him uncomfortable, makes him adjust, and hopefully that's going to pave the way for better success down the road.
Yeah, one of the problems with these affiliate teams is the change of personnel. They've had the same center back pairing for the first 3 games, but now changing here with Jada coming in. We'll see how he mixes in there with Breck Evans.
Jata on loan from MFK Vyškov in the Czech 3rd division. Surveying the field, will cut it back. Cervania there. Key central midfielder for North Texas to start the season. Roberts there, loses it, back to Greenville. Not really used to seeing this too much since the Tormenta match to start the season. Greenville having to deal with a possession-based team they're facing today. Ball sent in there, one hop right to Dallas J, and he'll bring it in.
Yep, a couple of good early touches for Dallas J. Hasn't had to make too many saves this season with this stout defense in front of him. But see what happens tonight if he's called into action at all.
Jay coming off of his 2nd clean sheet of the season. And a foul called there in favor of Greenville.
John Harkes might be upset the advantage wasn't played there. Tyler Polak had a free run down the left wing. Little clip on the back of Omar Mohammed by Brian Reynolds, but Tyler Polak had the advantage down the left wing and referee blew it up.
Amaguer chasing that down. Big header there from Seiler. And that's exactly what Coach Harkes pointed to with his addition into the midfield. Little chip over the top, but Keegan pretty clearly offsides there. And it'll be brought in for a goal kick. We talked about the finishing issues for the Triumph recently this season. Well, North Texas got everything done really against Orlando. Orlando City B having 17 total shots in the match last week. They only had 2 of which on goal. Really limited the chances out there. Foul called against Greenville this time around as North Texas SC takes over.
Greenville not pressing as much as they have in previous games yet.
Coach Eric Quill telling us that he wanted Greenville to press throughout this game, and he thought that would open things up for some of his forwards up top and the long ball, but so far, Triumph, that's not their game plan today.
Dominic Boland there, number 2. Didn't start the season in the starting lineup at right back, but has played his way in there thanks to, I think it was the initial suspension of Cole Seiler for the red card, got Boland into the lineup, and he's forced his way in there ever since, forced the move of Seiler to midfield. The young Scotsman's done well.
Yeah, he looked very good out there against Chattanooga, a 1-0 win for the Triumph a few weeks ago. Since then, we've had these formations where Polak might move up to the forward spot in a game, at least for the first half, or Seiler this match and the last one at Madison. He's been in the defensive midfield slot. North Texas forced to work it around the back. Chris Bermudez there, number 7, bottom of your screen, started out the season with really a huge electricity out there on the field. Had 8 created chances, was excellent to begin things, and just hasn't been the same since then. And I guess many of the teams found out who he actually was. Unlike most of us, he was a new name on the field for us, but with some of that film, he slowed down. Still stuck at that mark of 8 created chances, but still a potent winger out there for Greenville. Came out in full force against Tormenta in the inaugural match of League One. Bad ball over the top. Jata's going to have to deal with this one as Keegan pressures him, but handles it well with the initial touch, and they'll work it out of the back.
Yeah, one player I'd like to see there tonight is Carlos Gomez. Greenville sometimes in the middle missed that playmaking midfielder. You got the solid height and defensive ability in Seiler in the middle, but Aaron Walker and Paul Klaus more, again, also known more for their defensive abilities. Carlos Gomez, when he's been on the field, has really showed a spark in the middle. We'll see if he manages to get on the field tonight.
And we saw what he could do against Chattanooga a few weeks ago. He had that goal that was called back because of Keegan's offsides position, And then he had the assist on the goal that was allowed later in the match that gave them the 1-0 win. And early discussion this season has been Gadiri or Gomez, but right now with Seiler moving into the midfield, both of them not on the field.
Yeah, you do have to take into account the U.S. Open Cup coming up this week, so 3 games in 8 days for the Triumph. So while Greenville don't have the biggest roster in USL League One, you're going to need to rotate some guys here in these next 3 games.
Yeah, they'll face Tormenta on Wednesday at home. Of course, right here on ESPN Plus as well. Xaviles will take it in. But so far, disciplined play from North Texas SC. Until then, right as I said it, Bolin making the interception with the header. Now the Triumph maybe with some possession. No, it will be intercepted immediately by Arturo Rodriguez. Roberts now on it. After getting his first start last week, back up there as the attacking midfielder. Johan Gomez trying to keep it in play. Can't there, as it's going to be a goal kick, and Lee wins the ball for Greenville.
Both teams taking a little time to settle in there. North Texas looked real ragged at the back there for a second, but Greenville couldn't take advantage of it.
And we talked about with Coach Quill how the first road match this season might affect these young players of North Texas SC. So far, so good, at least for now. And he said part of the key to that is making a very organized schedule for his squad.
Anytime you take teenagers away as a group, there's always a question if they're going to behave themselves. But obviously, these are professionals, so should act accordingly, you hope.
Coach Quill telling us this week that really maybe the biggest factor that's the difference between academy play to this position in League One are the fans. So he's expecting a lot out of the Reedy River Riot. And certainly any team should, based on what we've seen.
Yeah, with the sun coming out now, I think we'll have a late filtering crowd here, perhaps, as the rain may have scared some people away initially, but it looks beautiful there now.
The humidity really funneling in to the East Coast this weekend, certainly feeling a bit more like summer. As we take a look at John Harkes entering the match today. 2-2-1 record. Start his tenure at the club. Speaking of supporters clubs, John Harkes saying this week that really impressed with the turnout at Forward Madison, and despite a 0-0 draw, he gave a lot of kudos out to the front office staff there for putting together a great atmosphere, and of course the Flock, their supporters club, for doing the same, despite the snowy conditions, of course.
It's great to see these supporters clubs growing in number as the season progresses, and coming out for games in those conditions shows their true spirit.
Coach Eric Quill, 9-year MLS career, over 140 appearances. Generally a newer face for the FC Dallas system. Now named the head coach of North Texas SC, in a brilliant start, 3-0 after that homestand. Ball over the top. Settled by Keegan, but it did go out of play. A little flick there by Harkes.
Yeah, Oscar Romero there on the right-hand side, number 7, former FC Dallas Academy guy. Spent some time in Mexico, one of the few players on this team with experience elsewhere.
Combo play in the midfields keep getting broken up, but Mohammed now finding a stride on the left flank. Reynolds brings him down, but J.C. Griggs saying, "Get back up, sir."
It's not the first semi-shove in the back we've had tonight. J.C. Griggs clearly going to let him play. We saw what happened in the Lansing game when referees let people play.
An interesting match for sure. Little back heel, but all over it is the back line with Paulitz sending it back all the way over to Jay. Lee over the top, Keegan after it. Certainly playing his number 9 role at the top of the formation. Gives it off the Clouds. And maybe also late fans staying elsewhere until now to enter the stadium due to the Kentucky Derby going on, which a massive upset, so maybe the Triumph hoping for the upset here tonight over the undefeated club.
2 balls on the field. Yeah, if we have as much drama tonight as we had in the Kentucky Derby, that was a questionable challenge there from Brian Reynolds. Omar Muhammad was clearly unhappy with it, but referees don't let players get away these days with that challenge from behind. But perhaps referee Griggs thought it was a little more shoulder to shoulder.
And it looked like Coach Quill after that play, if I remember correctly, looked upset with something as well on that play. As Bowen will have the throw-in on the near side. Bowen making his 4th straight start. Spending 2 years recently at Limestone College, nearby Limestone College. Making 35 starts at the NCAA Division II level. Triumph strategy so far has been balls over the top, but nothing doing to this point.
Yeah, as expected, North Texas winning the possession battle quite handily so far, almost 2-1 at the moment. We have to settle down in this home game. North Texas looked the more composed side in this first 15 minutes.
Enjoying over 2/3 of the possession so far in these first 15 minutes. Jata takes over. He'll try out the left flank now. Some open room on the right side. Sylvania stepping up. He'll get it back. Met by his opposite number, Muhammad, out of play. Throwing for North Texas in the final third.
Yeah, watching previous games, Brandon Sylvania is a very impressive midfielder. Get absolutely all over the field. You look at his touch chart, his dots almost cover the entire field from that defensive midfield spot. Great balance. Can take set pieces as well.
And he's a player that Coach Quill said expected a lot of minutes with FC Dallas, but has made the most of his opportunity, coming right in with a great work ethic here for North Texas SC. Stepping through, Roberts deflected! Up and in off the crossbar. It's an opening goal for North Texas SC on a crazy hop, but they'll take it. And their first goal from the run of play since their inaugural match.
Yeah, poor giveaway by the Triumph, and Thomas Roberts found himself in space, took a crack at it as you should, and got a deflection, and Jay just caught a little off his line, and the spin on the ball just wasn't able to tip it over the bars. Take another look at it. Definitely got a deflection. Dallas Jay got a good pour on it, but nothing he could do really. Well, I will say perhaps look at his reaction there. He knows he probably could have done a little better. It's from a good 35 yards out. Definitely got a clip off a defender's leg. Couldn't see who was coming in there with a sliding tackle, and Dallas Jay perhaps being called a little unawares.
But if you don't have that second deflection, like you said, definitely it dips a little lower, and he would have been set for that. But nonetheless, North Texas SC up 1-0 on the road. And for Roberts, his first professional goal after he started last week against Orlando, Little Rock, Arkansas native.
Roberts, one of 4 guys with first-team contracts playing in this game for North Texas. And if you get a pro contract in the MLS at the age of 17, you have to be doing something right, and showed his striking ability there.
First shot of the day as well for either side.
It's been a strange game so far. Sorry, Chris. It's been a strange game energy-wise. Neither team really seems up for it. It was a good strike there by Roberts.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
Dallas
River Riot finally getting going now.
North
Homegrown
Texas
signing
goal
back in
scored
July.
by number 23, Thomas
Roberts goes down there after contact. It's going to be a head
the
injury,
17th
so
minute.
JC Griggs will call on the trainers right away.
That's not good for Thomas Roberts. He's actually coming off a recent concussion. Missed a couple of games for FC Dallas when he was up there. Let's take another look at this replay here. Roberts went up for it. I'm not sure where. He was caught there by Walker. Whether it was with his head or an elbow, but Roberts seems to be okay.
Maybe just a scare there.
You have to be concerned with concussions. We saw in the Spurs Champions League game, it seemed like it was perhaps the back of Aaron Walker's head might have caught Roberts in the face. We saw Jan Vertonghen, I think it was, or maybe it was Alderweireld in the Spurs game, who thought he was okay and then almost fell over, almost passed out after the head collision. And soccer has dealt with head injuries, especially at the youth level now. Some of the leagues don't allow you to head the ball, but it's one of those things that you've got to be careful with, especially with kids at this age.
Right back on the pitch, good to see, as Aviles takes over. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
Carlos Aviles trying to play out the back here, and that's failed. Oh, man. Looks like Omar Mohamed and Chris Bermudez, as Harkes has a habit of doing, of switch wings. Loves to tinker with his wings, does Coach Harkes.
And does it base more on just a feeling, what he's seeing out on the field, and disrupt the opponent for sure. Seiler pass into the box. Given up again. Mohamed at the top, cleared just enough for North Texas SC. Beautiful spin move around Bolin. Now he's caught up the field. Romero works it ahead to the goal scorer Roberts. Cuts back in. Bolin's there, and he'll get it back over to Walker.
Greenville got to settle down here. Big sloppy first 20 minutes. Missed passes and just hasn't been good.
Mohamed deflected, and he'll keep it back. But Greenville certainly doesn't look like the home team right now, and Harkes told us after that inaugural match at Tormenta that they felt like the home team. Well, now it's the opposite for sure, as North Texas SC playing like the wily veterans out there. Very disciplined play so far. Cervania will get it back over to Roberts, and North Texas back in possession.
You got to remember, no matter the youth of this North Texas team, they've got a bunch of players that FC Dallas, thinks are MLS quality perhaps down the road. So there's plenty of talent out there, and Greenville, seeing these first 21 minutes, they have to respect that talent. Greenville's been far the second best team here to begin this one.
Amagar will sweep it out of the back. And so far with the 67% possession, they've done well with the passing category, of course, working this Greenville formation. 90% we're hearing from our producer Ryan Rose, and you have to keep in mind as well, North Texas, the highest passing accuracy of any club in USL League One at 84% average this season.
Still no real pressing here from Greenville Triumph. I'm surprised they're not putting a little more pressure on Al-Husseini Jati. He hasn't looked good when he has been under pressure. It's the big lanky Gambian.
Roberts has been a nuisance so far, but can't keep the ball in play there against the Triumph, as Walker will take the throw and might give it off to Boland here. Indeed he does. Ross, before you mentioned maybe missing that attacking midfield role out there for Greenville. Certainly, it seems like their strategy has been ball over the top instead of build-up play like we have seen them do all season.
Definitely a little more direct. Again, perhaps trying to go at Jada, but he's a big physical presence, and you're not going to win very many aerial battles against that guy. Triumph, not the tallest team in the world.
Jata, the 6'2", 19-year-old, native of Gambia. Played with their national team multiple times. Falls to Mohamed.
A little better.
Keegan lays it off. Klaus can't get the shot off. It's blocked in the end. Now Seiler on the right wing. He'll put in a cross, but a deep one at that. Floats through, stays in play. Bermuda is staying on it. He'll keep it in. Pollock all the way up from the left back spot. Flicks it on through. Bermudez trying to create. Puts in a little cross. Seiler sailing in there, but deflected away.
Nice header away there by Almaguer. He had Maybe creeping in right behind him. He had to get that one away.
Boland sends in the cross. Headed away by Jata. And Tessman will get it out of there for North Texas SC.
A little better here the last couple of minutes for Greenville, trying to string a couple of passes together. And Paul Klaus had I don't think he had realized how much space he had out front. It's a good clearance from Al McGare. Oh, it was Seiler was coming on that back post, and Al McGare had to be careful. Opposing figure of Seiler was creeping up on him.
Bermuda's top of the box. Keegan, too heavy of a touch. He stays with a little flick through, but too heavy to Bermuda's. Goal kick coming for North Texas SC. Carlos Aviles, 2 clean sheets. Started in the goal the last 2 matches, and 5 saves total. Of course, with that defense out there in front of him so far, not needing to worry about too much.
Looking again to play that short ball out from the back rather than go long, but he's forced to go long in the end.
Keegan. Roberts. Romero. Tessman some open room. And here comes back the possession play for North Texas SC.
I think that's Eric Quill. You can hear in the background screaming higher to his team, trying to get his midfield to push up a little bit more. Tessman was playing super deep there, and Roberts. You get up the field. They've looked dangerous in that final third.
Greenville gets the ball back on the handball. There's Eric Quill. Trying to pressure Greenville with defense. Tyler Polak will have himself a throw-in on the left flank, back at that left back spot. 8 chances created this season. Tied for the team lead with Bermudez, who got in a collision there.
Romero came in that challenge with his elbow a little high. He got away with it. There wasn't much contact in the end, but you got to be careful.
Boland moving up the right flank with Walker. Muhammad. Boland. Deflected. Stays in play, though, headed by Jata.
Better of the same.
And that's one thing Coach Harkes talked to us this week. Overlapping fullbacks. That's what he wants from his wingbacks out there. But right there, we saw maybe some hesitation from Boland.
Yeah, he's not as confident as Tyler Polak is going forward. Obviously, a lot younger and much less experienced than Polak. But yeah, Greenville's still looking a little bit for their identity. That's a nice touch there by Mohammed.
Mohammed settling it. 2 players in the box for him, but deflected by Evans. Cervania staying with it to Jata, and they'll clear it down the field. Jay will send it back the other way. Offsides flag is up. John Harkes approving of that call. Lee getting in on the action. Harkes calling out some instruction from the sideline. There's a lot on his mind this week for sure, especially with that midweek Open Cup match. How to manage the action out there and, of course, keep his players healthy and rested as well, with another match next Saturday at Lansing Ignite FC.
Greenville did expand their squad by 1 last week, bringing in the Englishman Max Hemmings. Still only sitting at 20. Nice ball there.
Hemmings playing 21 minutes at Madison last week. Over to Roberts. Might have a go, but tackled from behind by Klaus, and the ball rolling all the way over to Jay.
Good work back there by Paul Klaus, denying that space for Thomas Roberts, who almost found himself in a very similar position to the goal.
We'll take another look at this one.
He took half a look with his right foot, but good work there by Klaus to get back from his defensive midfield spot.
Dangerous little pass out from Jay as Walker has to send it right back. Now Gomez with the pressure, and he heaves it Pollock somehow, someway keeping that in play. It's Bermudez cutting through the traffic. Deflection, Muhammad in the box, settles it. Clouds a shot, saved by Aviles, another save. And finally the offsides flag goes up for the North Texas SC defense, but it was on that second chance coming from Bermudez.
They wanted it on the first chance. They were, about 5 of them had their hands up on the initial opportunity. I think it was on the pass here to Mohammed. It wasn't much of a pass from Bermuda. Mohammed looked definitely offside there. No call though. Aviles had his hand up immediately, but then had to get his hand down to make the save. The first one was spilled, but then a good save on the second attempt from Bermuda, so I think was called offside. Oh, the referee J.C. Griggs just didn't look over. And the position he's taken this, it looks like it was on the initial offside on Omar Mohammed.
But keep in mind as well, the assistant referee has to determine that a North Texas SC player didn't play the ball, and then it's deflected, and in that case, Muhammad, if he's offsides, he can still play it. But it looks like, nonetheless, a late call there. Helps out the North Texas SC defense. This does not, though. Triumph getting the ball at midfield now.
Yeah, a little more urgency, some good, strong running upfield by the Triumph. Trying to play their way back into this one. So they've been by far the second best team so far in this first 30 minutes.
Frustrating start for them. Last time they gave up a early goal like this, it was the Lansing game. They came back with 2 in the second half, and of course a couple red cards at that. Ball headed away by Reynolds. Jata now will help out. And he goes well upfield. I think Jata was just reminded by Eric Quill, hey, you're playing center back today.
Trying to take advantage of that Jata run, but ball wasn't good enough.
Bit too far there as Keegan was in the box. Fans follow North Texas SC and the Greenville Triumph, and of course the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Jay there grabs the ball out of the air. Also a reminder, ESPN+, also the home of US Open Cup. Make sure to watch that Tuesday and Wednesday, and of course the following round coming on the 14th and 15th. Paulitz will deal with this at the back over to Jay. Will certainly just heave this away, almost touched by Gomez. Seiler drills this downfield, but Ross, I saw your reaction to that. Had plenty of space in front of him.
Yeah, no, he just didn't carry that ball another 10, 20 yards and then look for the ball. He just hoofed it downfield, as we say in England. Found absolutely nobody.
Gomez against Lee, knocks that back, but Seiler covering well, gets back for the Triumph. .33rd minute here in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Chris McCovic, alongside me Ross Davenport. 1-0 North Texas on the goal by Roberts. Jay just couldn't get enough of a touch. Good point from our producer Ryan Rose. First non-Pepe goal of the season for North Texas SC. And Roberts, the goal scorer, trying to get on the break here, but just loses it. So far, just one shot, but that one on target for Greenville.
North Texas playing a very compact formation, then almost inviting Greenville to take them on the outside, not giving him anything up the middle.
Jata to Reynolds on the right flank. Whistle blown on the foul there, and it will be a free kick here for North Texas, quickly taken by Cervania. Back to Aviles. North Texas up 1-0 on the road will happily take this much possession.
Delightful ball there.
Over the top, attempted cross out of play, and it looks like we're going to have a corner kick on the deflection there. And North Texas SC a chance to add to their lead. Reedy River Riot getting into the action as defense will have to bunker in for the triumph. That was just their 4th goal allowed through 6 matches.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Corner kick, North Texas.
Romero. FC Dallas Academy prospect. Waiting for a play to develop. J.C. Griggs says, come on now. And a foul called, going the other way against North Texas. Free kick, Greenville.
Might have been a shove off on Al-Husseini's Jada. Found himself in a little more space than he probably should have.
Jay again pressured, has to heave this downfield. Gomez heads it on. Lee coming up, but met by Gomez. Right back where we started. North Texas in possession here in the 36th minute. Barely stays in play there. Bermuda's a tackle. He'll win it back for Greenville. The ball over the top by Seiler, but no one making that run, and that's kind of been the story of this first half.
Yeah, after impressing last week in the midfield, Cole Seiler tonight has looked like a defender playing in midfield. Touch just hasn't been there. The passing ability hasn't been there. And this game is really screaming out for the likes of Carlos Gomez and somebody to come into that center midfield spot with some creativity. He provides some kind of threat up the middle.
And we saw the response from Coach Harkes at halftime of the Richmond game after starting Tyler Pollock up at the left wing spot. Made a change at the half and moved him back to the back line, so might see that again tonight. Romero sent a little ball in there, headed by Pollock. And a foul called there on Gomez.
Yeah, North Texas threatening again. Good bit of defensive work by Aaron Walker to shield the North Texas player away from that one. And then Pollock comes in to help his teammate out, earns the foul.
Headed on by Seiler. Jot's going to have to deal with this with some pressure, but heaves it out of there. Looking across League One, early 1-0 lead for the Richmond Kickers. Second goal of the season for Dennis Chin. As it's a bit different start for them in their 3rd match already of the season against the Lansing Ignite.
You and I talked before the season. Richmond Kickers dealing with some injury problems to start the year and didn't have the greatest of first few games, but are now starting to getting it going. They're getting healthy, and Dennis Chin is a quality striker.
Veteran leader for sure. Won 2 USL Cups with Orlando City SC when they were in the championship. Avilés drills this downfield. I remember talking to David Bulow a few weeks ago, and he said, hey, kept saying, hey, everyone calm down. Our troops are coming. They're getting back healthy. And just like that, they're on track if the result stands for their 3rd straight win.
No, it's good to see that program struggled a little bit over the last few years and obviously dropping down now into League One, but finding some success now. They're getting things going.
Triumph are trying to do the same here as they loop the ball into the box. Seiler another header, but a foul called as he had the body away Roberts to get to the ball.
I'm sure Coach Harkes told his veteran players to get physical with these teenagers. That's where they're going to have the real advantages in the body size and overall strength. But J.C. Griggs has been on here the last couple of minutes, couple of shoves. Been called.
Paul Clowes encouraging the ball to be sent away. Out of play off of Seiler. That would be a throw-in for the away side. There's 2 shots combined between these 2 squads in the first half. We'll have to see what changes Coach Harkes makes. He's kind of known for them so far this season at halftime, tactically. Out of play off of Clowes. But both these teams playing into what we talked about in our pregame. Finishing, creating chances in the box, haven't been their strong suit so far, and not many so far to speak of. North Texas will try out the right flank, up 1-0 here on the road. Tessman, little flick back. Reynolds is there, but knocked out of play safely by Bermudez. It's a corner kick for North Texas SC.
Yeah, they'll surely be looking for Jata again. Well, I don't see him coming into the box just yet.
Ladies and
There he is there,
gentlemen, your
making
attention,
a late
please.
stroll.
Corner kick, North Texas.
Roberts, Cervania coming up to him. And they'll just switch out positions. Cervania spending 1 year at Wake Forest in 2017. 3 goals and 11 assists in 20 starts. Looking for another one of those assists here. Jata into the box now. Sends it in.
There he is.
Headed by Jata, but off of Seiler, and it's out of play for another North Texas corner kick.
Yeah, well defended there by Cole Seiler. Just hung around between Jata and the goal and then got enough on the ball to deflect it away for a second straight corner. Let's take another look at it. Jata was coming away from goal about 8 yards out.
Corner kick again, North Texas.
Didn't get the best of touches on it. Roberts will take this one.
The early goal scorer for North Texas here in the 42nd, looking for another. Sends it in there, deflected away.
Crowd getting excited about a corner clearance. That tells you about the first 41 minutes for Greenville.
Jata taking a tumble, still taking his time back to that back line as Muhammad goes down.
Good professional foul there by Brandon Cervania. There was Greenville Triumph players streaking forward.
Take another look at this one.
Who, me?
Arturo Rodriguez there, making sure that Greenville couldn't take it quickly. Stepping up, maybe something brewing for the Triumph. Bermudez, but Muhammad didn't see it coming, tried to stay onside, too heavy of a touch, out of play. And again, the struggles continue for the Triumph in the final third.
I think Omar Mohamed himself might have thought he was offside, but flag didn't. Well, did the flag go up? Perhaps it did. As Aviles is coming out to take the free kick out here, so the flag must have gone up.
Uncomfortable there as they move down the field. That's something Coach Harkes talked about this week. They look a bit uneasy at times in the final third, and there looked like, again, they had so much room in front of them to build the play up, but they moved too quickly and gave it away as Pollock is called for the foul there as he battled with Reynolds.
This North Texas defense is impressed so far this season, has lived up to billing tonight, even with the new center back in the form of Jata. They haven't allowed Greenville any quality chances at all.
44th minute, waiting for stoppage time here from the first half. At halftime, we'll take a look at the road ahead for both squads, and of course recapping those snowy conditions up at Madison. And USL League 2 starting play this weekend. Looking for another great league launch after their rebranding. Romero. Chipping in, top of the box, spinning there is Tessman. Deflection, and Arturo Rodriguez just lets this go out of play. Another corner kick for North Texas SC, and they look like set to take their time with this one.
There's a nice little turn there by Johan Gomez, and actually well defended by Kevin Politz, whose name we haven't mentioned much at all
Corner
tonight.
kick, North Texas.
Svenja will take this one, the outswinger, it looks like, perhaps. Going to play it short? Nope. Good corner. I think Breck Evans was trying to get ahead on it, but didn't.
Bolin breaking free. 2 minutes of stoppage time coming. As the flag is up for offsides against Bermudez. And he's shocked right now by that.
Not sure about that call. I thought Bolin was going to try and go through the middle to Keegan, but instead decided to go.
The fourth official
Sweeping
has
left.
indicated 2 minutes
So that'll
of stoppage
Bermudez,
time
who I thought was
for the first
onside.
half.
That'll be the third offsides flag going up for Greenville in this first half.
No, no, no. Not sure what the linesman was looking at there. There's at least 2 defenders behind Chris Bermudez, who was as bemused as we both were at that call, but here he comes again.
Second chance for Bermudez, deflected off of him though and out of play. And it looks like at least though some energy, momentum into Greenville as they move towards the end of this first half.
Bermudez taking just one touch perhaps to his right and opened himself up for the shot there. Instead he tried to keep going straight ahead and the touch was too heavy. Yeah, a little more encouraging here in the last couple of minutes.
Walker loses it there to Romero. Down the right flank. Gomez can't get there. Some room to work. Klaus. Right flank now. Mohammed, but loses it to Cervania.
Superb ball there by Evan Lee, but again, it's Paul Klaus, a defensive midfielder, finding himself way up the field and not really sure what to do with it. It's not the first time this season we've seen Paul Klaus get a little too far forward for his liking, perhaps.
Yeah, I believe it was the match against Richmond Kickers where he had a majority of the team's shots, but of course, not that attacking midfielder, that you want up top in that situation. Boland after this one. Deflected out of play as we approach the end of stoppage time.
Copy.
Bowen will take it. And with that, the halftime whistle sounds, and North Texas SC on the road for the first time, up 1-0 off the Roberts finish. And Greenville certainly will be looking to find some answers at halftime.
Triumph 0, North Texas.
John Harkes is
0.
going to read in the riot act here at halftime. It's not an impressive first 45 minutes, especially for a team at home.
We'll see what changes the kid man can make. As we hit the break, we'll be back with more coverage as we continue here on ESPN+. 1-0 North Texas SC. And we'll see what the Triumph and the Reedy River Riot have in store for us as we hit the break. Welcome back here into Greenville. Halftime upon us. And a few weeks ago, it was Greenville with their inaugural home opener. For Forward Madison, things looked a bit different out there.
Not exactly ideal soccer weather, but these folks in Madison, Wisconsin are used to this kind of weather, and they showed up in droves for their Forward Madison home opener.
John Harkes calling it a magical atmosphere, mostly because of this group right here, the Flock, the supporters group for Forward Madison, coming out in droves, 4,400 in attendance, and really a fun atmosphere, of course, with that yellow ball rolling out there.
Yeah, you saw the kids enjoying the snow there, but the players didn't so much. They had to clear the field for 30 minutes beforehand just to be able to get a playing surface. And you're playing on a surface like this, you're skidding and you're a little unsure of your footing, and ended up in a 0-0 draw, but the fans had a blast.
Yeah, Harkes saying his team warming up with snow plows on the edge of their feet, but nonetheless, a great match overall, and a clean sheet for both sides in the end, despite the conditions. So good showing either way for them, as the Flock got to enjoy the yellow ball out there, typically orange, but good to see it.
Yeah, it was a spectacle in one way or the other. No goals, but a great time had by all.
Yeah, and that Flock, of course, packing the stands once again, and got to watch a great defensive performance from Madison as they get to move now to more better conditions this week, I guess is the best way to put it. Better conditions coming for multiple squads in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday. And for a lot of these teams, a crammed week with this Wednesday matchup coming up, or Tuesday for some of them. Greenville, of course, will host Tormenta Wednesday night.
Yep, can't beat this knockout action, and that Triumph Tormenta is the prime matchup with the winner going on to be able to host Charleston Battery in the second round.
It should be a fun one. Tune in on ESPN Plus, or, of course, head out to the game at Legacy Early College and tune in for all the other matchups coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday in the U.S. Open Cup. Coming up for Greenville as well, outside of that match against Tormenta, they'll be heading back up to the upper Midwest.
Yeah, rematch of that home opener for Greenville against Lansing, which they won 2-1, and then hopefully a revenge match against the Richmond Kickers there on May 18th.
Yeah, back and forth, home and away, it looks like, as we move down the schedule. And, of course, 2 matchups with Tormenta in the next month as this rivalry begins to form a bit between the two sides. North Texas Soccer Club, unfortunately, will not be part of the U.S. Open Cup, but they do have some tough matchups coming on the road as well.
Yeah, Toronto one's going to be interesting, but those first 3 games are very winnable against teams struggling a little bit offensively.
Yeah, Orlando City still in search of their first win in USL League One play, and they'll look to get it against North Texas on May 11th. Coming up, we'll take a look at another branch of the USL as USL League 2 kicks off this weekend.
Now Morton's coming up, it's headed and in.
Nodded back in, Sandoval is there, so is Hamilton, loose in front, it's Freighter! What a hit! New Mexico equalized in the dying moments, it's a hat-trick for Freighter! Unbelievable at the lab!
Juan Pablo Capa with a direct free kick. Chips it. A goal! The equalizer for the captain.
Lomas in. Lomas! And how proud North Carolina FC. Lomas with his 6th goal of the season.
Back to the goal scorer. Barnby will try again. And another.
That is absolutely world class. That is much harder than it looks to do. Didi Traore. Oh my goodness, what a run. Didi Traore crosses. Didi Traore! It is a work of magnificence.
As we continue halftime here in Greenville, exciting news from USL League One. Another team coming on board. Of course, Penn FC and Rochester Rhinos will be joining in the coming years, but Omaha, next destination for USL League One.
No, some exciting stuff, getting more teams out of the Midwest. Omaha, a great sports town, now getting their own pro soccer side.
And Jason Mims will named the head coach, former Nebraska Omaha head man. And as well, USL Academy Cup announced, just another step on the path for the youth prospects all the way up to the top of the championship.
Man, it's super exciting for the kids, almost having their own U.S. Open Cup.
And of course, North Texas SC still trying to stay up there undefeated. Arturo Rodriguez making the team of the week. Lucas Coutinho of Tormenta, the player of the week.
Yeah, Cole Seiler there. Even though he was playing in midfield last week, he earns himself a spot at his normal position on the back line. Akwe, that man could be in the team of the week every week.
Yeah, it has been fantastic with the Richmond Kickers as we take a look at our scoreboard. Currently, as I mentioned previously, Richmond Kickers up 1-0 on the Lansing Ignite.
Yep, as I said earlier, Richmond coming out of their funk from the early season, getting healthy, and now starting to win games.
Yeah, Lansing in danger of losing their third straight after two 2-0 losses. Of course, coming on Tuesday, the most recent one against FC Tucson, who bounced back. Coming up May 11th, the next day of USL League One action. Most of these teams coming off of Open Cup matches midweek. Greenville Triumph will be back on the road in the upper Midwest.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Greenville and Lansing both struggling on the offensive side of things. Somebody's got to win it. Well, I guess they don't. They could have the tie, but see if somebody can get out of their funk here in that one.
And for Forward Madison FC against Chattanooga on May 11th, unfortunately still will be mourning the loss of a soccer legend, to say the least, here in the United States. Jimmy Banks, father of J.C. Banks, current Fulmingo up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, Coach John Harkes, I mean, he could have gone on for probably half hour on what a quality individual Jimmy Banks was, both on and off the field.
Yeah, and of course their quiet leader and just a special guy, he called him, that gave as much as he performed for the fans out there, and really helped out the local soccer community for the state of Wisconsin and the entire United States. We'll be right back with more halftime coverage coming up. Welcome back into Greenville, South Carolina, and there they are, the Reedy River Riot, looking for something to cheer about here in the second half. But of course, it was North Texas SC that had their own fans cheering back in Dallas as we take a look at our first half highlights. And a pretty tight match overall, but it was the road side that struck first.
Definitely the most impressive side in this first 45 minutes, and really deserved to lead. The goal came off a poor giveaway by Greenville.
Reynolds deciphering the right flank, and here it is.
Yeah, can't give the ball away there. It's a good strike by Roberts. It's got a deflection, but Dallas J, when he watches the replay of this goal, he's going to want it back. He got a good hand on it, but perhaps the spin coming off the deflection might have been enough to take it off his glove and over his head into the goal.
So I feel like if that deflection doesn't happen, he can just grab it, but there he freaks out maybe in the moment, and he knows it with his head down there.
It's almost like he tried to pour it away instead of trying to tip it over, which might have been a better decision.
Some later chances for Greenville coming, including this one, but it was handled well by the back line.
Yeah, Almagar with a good header away there to stop the threat from Cole Saylor behind him. This is the one that was called back for the offside. Almama handled with a half chance back to Paul Clausen. A good second save there by Aviles.
And Bermuda just kept trying with the chances towards the top of the box, but just couldn't find that final touch with his teammates. Let's take a look at our halftime stats. Of course, one shot on goal for North Texas, that being the goal, but overall just 4 combined shots. And certainly for the Greenville fans out there, it feels like a triumph match.
No, for sure. They came alive a little bit in the last 5 minutes. This game overall just needs a bit of a spark. Needs somebody to take that ball and move forward with it, take on some people. And we'll see how long it takes for John Harkes to make some changes. Perhaps the addition of Carlos Gomez, Travis Ward, perhaps. See what happens here in the next 45.
Yeah, of course, Cole Saylor up at defensive mid for the second straight match. And definitely from the first half, one of the storylines for Ross and I has been the amount of times we've seen open space in front of the players, but they choose to play the long ball instead.
Yeah, the vision just hasn't been there. The cohesiveness. Again, John Harkes, I think this is the first game he hasn't made any changes from a previous game, and you would hope to have seen a little more gelling because of that, and it just hasn't been there. Looks like the same lineup out there to start for John Harkes.
Omar Mohammed getting his second consecutive start up there after returning from injury.
Maybe this will be a reverse game for the Triumph. They've been struggling a bit in the second half. Maybe this was the first half struggle, and they'll come out here firing in the... They got to get some more bodies forward and take an odd risk here. Now, looks like we're going to have a sub here to start the second half for North Texas, excuse me.
And North Texas not satisfied.
Substitution for North
And it will be
Texas
Dante Seeley coming on, son of Scott Seeley, the former MLS forward.
Leaving the match is number 4, Brett Evans.
Very interesting substitution for North Texas. Looks like they might go to 3 at the back, perhaps, with Breck Evans, the center back, coming off, making way for an attacking midfielder or forward, whatever you want to call it. Dante Seeley can play a bit of both, so interesting.
Seeley a forward, but he leads the team in interceptions with 7, making his 3rd start now of the season in this match.
See where Seeley slots in. Perhaps North Texas realizing that Greenville are not much of a threat up top, and perhaps going with 3 at the back and adding a midfielder will help North Texas get that flow going through the middle of the park.
And certainly if we didn't see the pressure up top on Jay yet, we will see it now, so definitely Greenville backline has to watch out for that. Welcome back here on ESPN Plus. League One action, Greenville hosting the undefeated North Texas SC, 3-0 after their homestand to start the season, looking to continue that here today. I'm Chris Bukovic, alongside me Ross Davenport. As it's played back to Aviles, who's looking for his 3rd straight clean sheet.
It looks like Afuse Jada might be the lone center back now, which is a big role of responsibility for him, considering he's more of a midfielder.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've seen a 3-back formation from North Texas this season, as Seeley gets his first touches in after coming on at the half.
He's an exciting young talent, is Seeley. His dad was a quality player in Trinidad and FC Dallas.
A 16-year-old, native of Frisco, Texas, has spent nearly his entire time since his father signed with FC Dallas back in 2012 with FC Dallas system. Now getting his chance again and yet another match for North Texas SC, and he has performed well. Deflected out of play, throw in as we take in the keys to the game, see how these two teams are making out.
Well, we've still got a little ways to see if Greenville will go that full 90. The last touch obviously still hasn't been there for them, struggling to find it in that last third. And North Texas, obviously Robert stepped up with the goal, and they haven't looked like a bunch of teenagers so far in this first 45+ minutes, that's for sure.
Foul called on the far side. Lee back through to the keeper, Jay. Out of play, deflection. They'll stay with the triumph.
Yeah, Tyler Pollock's going to be seeing, it's not the first time tonight with the second ball on the field, ripped away by Paul Clowes in disgust. Tyler Pollock's going to be seeing teenagers running at him who's nightmares tonight. This semi-press has been, especially when they're trying to play out from the back, especially from goal kicks, etc. They've been right in the face of these Greenville defenders.
Boland with the throw in on the far side. North Texas getting it back.
Good work there.
North Texas breaking the other way. Arturo Rodriguez. Deflected past the end line. And it's a corner kick here for North Texas.
Looks like Sealy's going to slot into that role where Rodriguez was. It looks like he might get more of a free roll now.
Corner kick, North
We'll
Texas.
see if we end up seeing his brother David at some point tonight. See the two Rodriguez brothers on the field at the same time would be nice.
And David, his 17th birthday is tomorrow. A good birthday present, get his debut for North Texas SC. Ball sent in, Jota there sailing in. Not sure if he got a touch though, as it looked like Paulitz had the final header. Corner kick nonetheless.
See, normally when you're a 17-year-old soccer player and it's your birthday, you get a nice pair of cleats from your parents, but these pros don't have to worry about that. Look at the replay there.
Corner kick, North Texas.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you I wasn't playing for a pro soccer team on my 17th birthday, so it's a pretty good gig. Corner sent in, floats in, stopped by Jay twice. He makes the save on his knee. Where did that come from?
Jay says nay. Been waiting to say that most of the season, and that was a great save there.
I know, and I can vouch for him. Ross came up with that in the first home match for Greenville, and here it is.
I won't take any credit for that. That's two great saves on the line by Dallas Jay. I'm not sure how much he knew about the second one, but Sealy almost put himself on the board in the first 5 minutes since coming on.
Dante Sealy making his impact known out there. The double save by Jay.
Dallas Jay hasn't had much to do at all this season with the few shots he's faced on goal, a few quality shots on goal anyway from opponents. This Greenville defense has made things easy for him. He came through there when he had to.
We'll try the right flank out now, and looks like a confident step in Greenville now.
Again, sometimes the best saves as goalkeepers aren't the diving ones, they're the ones where you're just in the right place where you should be, and that's where Dallas Jay was there. His positioning was great and did what he had to do, stood up strong and kept those two shots out.
Some momentum for Greenville. This is what Eric Quill was interested to see how his team would respond, and it almost responded in a goal for Greenville, but there it is. Jake Keegan again on the front door and cannot make it count.
Oh, Jake Keegan. Who's talking about nightmares of Tyler Pollock. Jake Keegan's going to be seeing this one tonight. I mean, that doesn't get any easier than that. Not sure why he didn't go with it with his left foot coming across his body, but that's Greenville Triumph season in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, flashbacks to Paul Klaus on the doorstep multiple times against Richmond. Couldn't get it in there. That will maybe come back to bite them. They would hope not.
I find it hard to believe that Aviles is trying to time waste in the 51st minute referee, but all right.
But J.C. Griggs, that's what he's saying probably. If you're doing this now, it's only going to get worse.
He's pointing at his watch. I guess you do have to step in now and nip it in the bud, but
over the top, Pollock after it. But Eric Quill telling us this week what he really wanted to see from his team is how they responded on the road to the momentum caused by the crowd, caused by the Reedy River riot. And we're starting to feel that now from Greenville and North Texas SC. Big moment for them if they can stay disciplined out there like we've seen in the first 51 minutes.
yeah, Greenville have definitely picked up the intensity here to start the second half. Resulted in that quality chance there for Keegan. Okay, we mentioned in the pregame, Jake Keegan really the only true striking option here for Harkes at the moment. And if things aren't working up top for him, there aren't a lot of options to go to. Remember the first game of the season, If I remember correctly, Sammy Gadiri started up top along with Cameron Soul, two more attacking midfielders and strikers, and Keegan was out on the left. But ever since then, Keegan's been playing that sole number 9 role, and the goals haven't come just yet.
Travis Ward, a forward option. Max Hemmings, midfielder, also adding some depth. Cole Seiler will take this free kick. Anderson, South Carolina native. Seeley there, who's all over the field to start the second half. Lee heads it back and right to Jay. Just think about that turnaround too. Jay says nay, and then almost a goal for Greenville.
Yeah, that's all it takes. We've seen how these Greenville goals have gone in this season. Just takes one little bit of magic for them to score. We had the quick free kick, and Carlos Gomez has been involved. You have to think we're going to see him at some point here in the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Seeley, deciphering traffic, cuts into the midfield. Stopped by Paulitz and helped out by his fellow defenders. Jota sailing in there. Going down is Jake Keegan, and bring on the trainer for the collision.
J.C. Griggs I don't think he called the free kick. I'm not sure if I think he stopped the game because of the head collision. That play was right in front of him and clearly got caught by an elbow from Jota. Let's take another look at it. Oof, Jota came right over the top with swinging elbows. Griggs took a good look at it, but decided it was nothing wrong initially. Jake Keegan's all right.
And Keegan, of course, being reminded to come off the field.
I guess he did call the free kick. I thought maybe perhaps he just called the drop ball initially. It didn't seem like there was a whistle.
Pollock will take this free kick, looking to go deep into North Texas territory.
It's a strange one because if he stopped the game for the free kick,
Headed away by Jota and cleared in the end. Here comes Keegan back on.
I thought you only had to go off if the game was stopped because of the injury. If the free kick was given, I'm not sure why Jake Keegan had to go off.
Lee cuts it back. This will work it up the left flank.
Yeah, maybe perhaps because the trainer came on to give some attention to the game. It was a referee that called for it.
Which is, I think, good for the game now. We're being more self-aware. If the referee sees a head injury, doesn't make the play or make the decision, he's automatically saying, hey, we need to check this out.
Oof. Cole Seiler with a big challenge on a 50-50 ball, and there's perhaps a bit of a retaliation, but J.C. Griggs trying to take control of this game. Is getting a little chippy here at 55-minute mark.
Haven't had any cards so far tonight. We'll take another look.
50-50 ball. Both guys left their feet, though. I don't think either was to blame. A shove there from Tanner Tessman, excuse me. Mara's back on his feet and okay.
Try the right flank, right back to Mohammed, who won the foul. He goes down again, and a throw-in coming on the right flank. Boland will take it. Pollock pressured immediately by Seeley, and they'll work it back to Jay.
I was just about to say, the Triumph backline pushing up a little bit there, getting a little higher up the field, and then of course nice press by North Texas resulted in the ball going backwards.
Seiler. Somehow, some way that stayed in play. Bermudez, top of the box, cuts in, looking for the chance, flicks it, and just behind the goal, wide right of the post.
Just a couple of extra too many touches there for Bermudez. Perhaps should have just taken a shot from about 8 yards out, tried to make the extra move, and results in the shot going wide. Again, Greenville much better here in the first 15 minutes of the second half, though.
And as if on cue, via Ross, here's the sub for Greenville. Bermuda, interestingly enough, comes off, and here comes Gomez onto the pitch.
Well, I like the decision of Gomez coming on, but I'm not sure if I would have brought Chris Bermudez off. I'd have perhaps perhaps Cole Seiler off.
57th minute, entering the match is number 10.
John Harkes knows more about coaching than
Gomez.
I ever will, so
Leaving the match.
see if it
is
makes
number
a
7,
difference here. Carlos Gomez is
Christopher
great with the feet.
Bermudez.
Let's take another look at that chance here. Nice work by Omar Mohamed. Cut back to Bermudez. A nice little chop turn to the right and through the traffic, but perhaps should have shot there. Gave it maybe just the extra half second. He could have had toe poked it far post, would have been an option.
He's created a few chances out there tonight, so as you mentioned, interesting to see him come off right now. Ball over the top, but right to Aviles. And he'll throw it over to Reynolds. Sealy losing it back to Gomez. See how effective he is right off the bench. North Texas in their 4 matches, including this one, of course, this season. Not conceded the first goal. Again, speaks to their defense, which I guess is not getting enough love that it probably should at this point. Polak.
Better possession here. Now some space here for Gomez.
Cuts around the defenders and will try out the right flank. Boland. Mohamed. Back to Boland. Looking inside the box. Sends it over, but knocked away by Jata. Keegan was there, and it's cleared away, but a corner kick has been awarded to Greenville.
So Carlos Gomez going to slot into more of a 10 roll. Let's take another look at that one. Great work here by Dominic Boland down the right side. Little 1-2 giveaway. Nice little flick by Mohamed. And Boland in an unfamiliar position as the right back, but earned a corner.
Mohamed will take it. Low one sent in. Paulitz settles it. It'll be back to Mohamed. Walker nearby him. He'll cross it in here. Headed back away. Gomez. Corralled pretty well by that North Texas defense.
North Texas with 10 men behind the ball. There was no room for Gomez to work there, but here's Mohamed now.
Mohamed, right flank, sends it into the box. Over everyone, though. Lee will have a go at it, but trickles out of play. Throw in North Texas. Looking for the latest USL League One news and content? Follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. Back out of play, quick throw in by the Triumph. Keegan off of Reynolds, and he makes the interception. Out of play, throwing again for the Triumph. Again, Roberts getting that goal in the first half. This one cleared out. Another Polak throw-in.
It's been very quiet since then, this Thomas Roberts, but damage was done.
Gomez,
Careful.
late tackle by Tessman, but it didn't contact Gomez. Out of play and a goal kick. But hey, Gomez off the bench, and he's ripping through traffic.
Yeah, bringing that energy, bringing that speed and that quickness, that spark that Greenville needed, and it's worked so far. Let's another look at it. Good moves there. Tanner Tessman with a very questionable tackle that Gomez had gone down on that. Might have had a penalty shout. It was a good thing he didn't. Stayed on his feet. Gomez bringing that creativeness to the midfield. Greenville sorely need. We'll see how long it takes for Harkes to perhaps make another change.
25-year-old Spaniard, 2 assists so far this season, making his 5th appearance. North Texas right back with it. 1-0 here in the second half. Jata up ahead and through to Dallas J.
Yeah, now that he's settled in, looks like Gomez definitely going to slot in that left wing spot, but Harkes is clearly giving him that free roll to cut in when he needs to and get involved in the middle.
And Lee, despite the pressure from Gomez, passing it back to Jay. Roberts knocks it down. And a throw in for Polak. 2 shots for Greenville so far just in the second half.
Nice touch.
Gomez met by Jata, so he has to curl out a bit here. He'll get Boland involved on the attack. He'll send the cross into the box, but over everyone and out of play.
Omar Mohamed made the diagonal run, but Gomez didn't seem to see him. He may have been offside by the time he did see him. Not the best of crosses in the end there by Dominic Boland, but good to see Boland getting forward now, almost mirror of Polak on the left. A little more balance.
North Texas making their second substitution so far this evening. Vicent will come on for Romero.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Biku Vicent, the
North
20-year-old
Texas
Haitian,
substitution
adding
in
to the midfield
64th
out there.
minute. Entering the match, number 21, Biko Bisanete. Leaving the match, number 7, Oscar Romero.
And a yellow card officially now issued for time wasting to Aviles, and kind of saw a foreshadowing of that before here in the 64th.
Yeah, he was warned about it. Guess it doesn't matter when you're wasting time, it's still wasted time. It doesn't, you don't usually see it till the last 20 minutes or so, but referee J.C. Grigg staying on top of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution has been issued by the referee.
Foul called on the
to
far
North
side. John
Texas,
Harkes wants a
number 1,
yellow card on that.
Carlos Aviles in the 64th.
Doesn't look like he's
minute.
going to get it. Instead of warning for Cervania. Free kick on the right flank for Greenville.
Tyler Polak over from his left back position to try and whip this one in towards the penalty spot. It's a little far out, but see how quality service he can get in here.
Polak falls through the traffic and again out of play for the Triumph. Another goal kick. We'll take a look at this foul now right in front of the Triumph bench.
Had a couple of arms around him. A good little hug there given by Brandon Cervania. John Harkes wanted the yellow card on that.
Battle of the 18s out there. Boland waiting for things to develop on this throw-in. Roberts chips this over the top. Gomez running onto it, but a nice stop by Politz. Almost stolen by Seeley, but Polak makes sure he doesn't.
Yeah, good work by Tyler Polak out there, coming over from his normal spot to cover for his center back mates, but that wasn't good work there.
Seeley brought down by Lee, but no call. They'll continue play. Darting Clouds up there, but cleared. Falls through back to the Triumph. Tessman gets a touch. Tries to backheel it, but there's Seiler. Over to Muhammad, who goes down on the edge on a pretty easy foul call.
Yeah, it's a dive.
And Muhammad knew it was coming, and a yellow card at that for it.
Yeah, he was always looking. You could tell he was looking for that one from the first minute. He knocked the ball past the defender.
And you think he might have saw the Gomez potential foul in the box before and said, hey, I'll try this out.
No, nothing in that one. J.C. Griggs had a great look at it. He's not taking any nonsense, Mr. Griggs. He already gave the yellow card for time wasting, and now that one for the nonsense from Mohammed.
Good on Griggs as well, considering he was at the in the central midfield and he saw it from that angle. Knew there wasn't contact.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Headed on, Lee
A
trying to
caution
take care of
has been
this.
issued by the
Back
referee
to Jay.
to the triumph, number 18, Omar Muhammad, in the 67th minute.
Muhammad brings it down. Not much help in front of him. And all ball says Vicent and Griggs. Gomez back to Polak.
And this game's getting a lot more physical now, which may well suit the Greenville Triumph. These teenagers from North Texas aren't perhaps used to getting bumped around by a bunch of guys, and the crowd's definitely getting more involved as a result.
Of course, tough to win those battles against 6'2" forces up the middle like Jata and Vicent now. Here in the 69th. Paulitz. Brought down on the edge by Roberts. A foul call. This will be quickly taken. No, Polak taking his time now with Roberts standing in front of him.
Yeah, this is where North Texas is going to have to show that mental toughness. These Greenville players are trying to get in their heads.
Another look at that foul.
Yeah, a little clumsy there from Roberts in a non-dangerous position. Going away from goal is a little silly, but now the free kick is in a very dangerous position.
1 assist this season for Polak. Walker also there on top of the ball. Looks like he will take it.
Maybe one in service here to the near post, perhaps.
Deflected off the two-man wall. But Boland is there to keep the attack alive. Back to the left flank with Walker. They'll chip it in there. Dangerous ball. Headed up and out of play. I believe it was Keegan that got the touch finally.
Yeah, great ball in there from Aaron Walker.
Take another look.
Yeah, the runs from the Triumph. Oh man, if Keegan perhaps had left that one for Cole Seiler, he had a better run on it coming from that far angle, while Keegan was sort of drifting backwards. But needless to say, much better stuff now from the Triumph.
Dustman goes down and a foul is won by North Texas. Excuse me, Gomez there. 1 digit off.
And a little left-handed forearm shove by Evan Lee.
Who's up? Who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USLLeague1.com. Of course, North Texas once again at the top of those power rankings. Greenville coming in at 4, staying in their spot after their 0-0 draw at Madison in the snowy conditions.
Yeah, North Texas have impressed again without Pepe for a second straight game and without their center back Callum Montgomery tonight. Just keep rolling. Not destroying teams, but they're doing just enough to win games and hanging in there with these older teams.
Reynolds will try out the right flank. Through ball up ahead to Gomez. Goes down there after contact with Polak. Immediately grabbing that right leg. As play continues. Out of play. A throw in going the Triumph's way, and still down is Gomez. You hate to see that.
Sure, if he looks like it might be a cramp, perhaps in the hamstring. Didn't see much of a contact. Tyler Polak did come in a little heavy, but
Trainer comes out to have a look.
maybe more of a dead leg. Let's take another look at it.
Politz and Polak in the area.
It seemed like Polak just made contact with perhaps his knee. Grabbed his calf initially, then grabbed his hamstring.
Forward out of Keller, Texas, 17-year-old.
Oh man, that looks like it hurts. Perhaps a dead leg of some kind.
There's Eric Quill. May need to think of a change here if unable to continue. Pretty heavy limp.
He's run well tonight, Johan Gomez. Hasn't had any real scoring chances as the youngster, but made his presence felt, especially on that press.
And just like that, Gomez will give it a go back on the field as we continue here in Greenville. 73rd minute, 1-0 North Texas. Thrown away by Becent, and with the troops well up the field, North Texas some room to run, but Seiler has other thoughts. Back to Jay, who clears it down the field.
I think John Harkes perhaps make another offensive substitution here at some point. So he's got plenty of options on the bench. Gadiri, Ward, Cameron Sol, all guys who can get into that final third and create chances. Travis Ward has been particularly impressive when he's come on. Maybe a swap for him for Seiler at some point. We'll see.
Headed up by Polak and out of play. Despite not being in the 18, want to wish our congratulations over to Edmundo Robinson and Miguel Uribe, who both graduated this week from college. Uribe from Southern Wesleyan University and Robinson graduating today from Queens College in North Carolina, as we have the third and final substitution for North Texas SC. And it will be Gomez coming out after going down with that injury.
This will likely see North Texas go back to the normal back four now with Cesar Murillo.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
75th minute, looking for the 3
Substitution for
points.
North Texas in the 75th minute. Entering the match is
Triumph.
number 2, Cesar Moralo.
Winning the
Leaving
free.
the match is number
Throwing.
44, Johan Gomez.
Chipped over the top. Out of play, back to the Triumph as they move the troops up the field. Cesar Murillo out of El Paso, Texas, a 23-year-old playing 4 years at the College of Charleston. Making 66 appearances for the Cougars.
Good pressure from Cole Seiler there. That's what he's in there for.
Boland sends it in there, deflected and right to Aviles. So again, things not panning out for Greenville in the final third.
I'm not sure if Boland meant that cross to be that low, but it almost turned into a scoring chance.
Just 4 shots for both sides here this evening, and possession pretty evenly split at this point. Muhammad deflected there, and out for a corner kick.
Big mistake there by Almaguer.
Maybe a break here for
Corner
the Triumph.
kick, Triumph.
Ball sent in, headed away by Becent. Boland out wide towards Muhammad. Chips it in, headed up in the air by Murillo. Boland trying to keep the attack going. Muhammad overlapping run by Boland. He'll get it here. Sends a cross in, but right into the arms of Aviles.
Yeah, more good work from the Triumph down that right-hand side, causing all sorts of troubles for Almaguer. Doesn't get to result in a goal though. Omar Mohammed starting to force his way back into this game again after showing some flashes early.
Better.
Roberts scored that lone goal in the first half. Stepping up, chance, but wide there for Cervania. And Cameron Saul about to make his entrance into the match. And Cole Seiler in the defensive midfield, his night is done.
Yeah, good change there. We'll see where
Ladies and gentlemen, your
Cameron Saul
attention,
slots
please.
in. Perhaps
Substitution for the Triumph.
Carlos Gomez goes into the
78th
midfield,
minute.
back into more of the center of
Entering the
midfield a little
match
bit. And
is
Cameron
number
Saul
11, Cameron Saul.
up top, perhaps more of a 4-4-2 here to throw
Leading
things
the match is number
forward in the last
14,
12 minutes.
Cole Seiler.
We haven't seen much of Cameron Saul since that first game when he started.
Saul just playing 84 total minutes this season, and making his 5th appearance overall. Throw in from the right flank for Greenville. It'll be Clowes looking to work that long throwing ability. Headed on by Lee, but right into the arms of Aviles, with plenty of green jerseys around.
So Gomez will end up staying on that left wing. I'm not sure if I see him more of as a winger than the creative midfielder, center midfielder. Either way, the action has been mostly down the right anyway the last 10 or 15 minutes for Greenville.
Roberts clipped up, and it looks like a free kick here for North Texas. '80th minute, 1-0 North Texas.
Yeah, still old Klaus kick to the ankle. And another foul.
Right off the free kick, and now a chance maybe for North Texas to work it into the box.
Texas taking their time with this one.
Getting the bodies in the box. Cervania will take it. Headed down by Jata. And a goal kick for the Triumph. Fans follow the Greenville Triumph and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, Open Cup, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Long week ahead for the Triumph after this match as well, battling for the 3 points here. Battling Tormenta Wednesday evening on ESPN Plus in the Open Cup. And then again on next Saturday, against Lansing Ignite on the road.
Greenville have been much more impressive in the second half. It's still yet to force Carlos Aviles into much work. Obviously had that golden chance missed by Jake Keegan earlier on, but only the 2 saves so far by Aviles, and neither of them particularly difficult.
Tessman works it out of play. Throw in for the Triumph. Still one more sub available for John Harkes. Saul to Muhammad. Sweeps it in there, headed away by Jata. Despite an early lead for Richmond, at home once again they could fall to the Lansing Ignite. 2-1, Lansing up in the later stages of the match. Lansing trying to rebound after 2 straight 2-0 losses. Saul. Grabbed from behind by Jata. Be surprised if this isn't a card. Indeed it is, from J.C. Griggs.
The way Jata was heading back to his penalty box, he knew what was coming. Second hold back of this half. Not the first one wasn't by him, but professional foul by Jata. And a deserving card. Cameron Saul. Good with the quick feet. It's almost a wrestling move. It's with the choke hold on him.
Dangerous free kick here for the Triumph. The 83rd. Pollock and Walker standing over it. Floats through everyone and out of play. Goal kick for North Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution has been issued by the referee to North Texas, number 6.
Goal kick coming for Aviles.
Al-Husseini Jata in the 83rd minute.
2 shots on goal apiece for both sides. Falls through almost to Keegan, but swept away by Jata, who has played fairly well moving over to the center back spot in this match.
Yeah, he didn't look comfortable early, but he settled in. He's found himself in the right spot at the right time for a few big clearances. There's a goal in Toronto, excuse me, in Wisconsin.
And we're done here. Tune on over to Madison and Toronto FC2 battling it out. An 8 p.m. start, so they're just about to hit halftime. 1-0 Madison.
Did the Cow score?
Yeah, if anyone is interested out there, go on the Forward Madison Twitter. You can name their new signee literally a cow. Some fun nicknames out there.
It was a great move.
Okay, Ross.
All right, I'm done.
We have Jay says nay and that. Whatever that was. He has a long list in front of him, folks. North Texas with the throw-in. Throw-in coming for Greenville on the far side. So as things are set now, North Texas looking to stay undefeated on the season. Toronto FC2 as well, just after putting up that graphic on your screens. Ooh, an equalizer coming from Toronto, and Aaron Walker decked there by the elbow.
Tanner Tessman's lucky to get away with not even a card on that with a swinging left elbow. Wow. Right in front of the referee, too.
Cervania down the right flank. Reynolds overlapping run. He'll take over. North Texas happy to play keep away. With the final substitution about to come on for Greenville, and it'll be more of an attacking one, as you would assume. Pollock sends it over the top. Salt is there pressuring. Murillo has to heave it out of play. This will bring on the substitution, see if they make an impact here in the final few minutes. And it will be Sammy Gadiri coming on. 21-year-old out of Boca Raton, Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for the Triumph in the 86th
As you
minute.
see, Paul Klaus
Entering the match
coming out.
is number 21, Sammy Gadiri. Leaving the match is number 6, Paul Klaus.
Reynolds gets the deflection off of Pollock. He'll have the throw in quickly. Be sent. Sends it to the left flank. Rodriguez runs through, almost gets it back there on the give and go. We'll have a call behind the play. A foul at the top of the box, and North Texas SC a chance to cement things with 3 points.
It's the first time tonight we've really seen Arturo Rodriguez showing what he can do, flying down that left channel. Taking a look at that foul, he beat Dominic Boland pretty easily. Bolin had a good he had the arm bar on him. Referee played advantage, and good job in calling it back. Free kick in a very dangerous position here.
4 players. Who wants to take it?
Cervania can crack him. So Rodriguez might want a piece of it as well.
No one really in the box.
Yeah, interesting little setup here for North Texas.
Just Sealy inside the box for now.
Yeah, no, they're sort of floating in towards the box. Looks like, well, all sorts of shenanigans here going on behind the ball for North Texas.
Roberts strikes it, but sends it into the Greenville Knight.
All that for nothing.
88th minute. Last opportunity really here for Greenville. Lady River Riot, restless out there, looking for the equalizer.
Some urgency here from Greenville. Everything's still too slow. Down a goal in the last 2 minutes at home, guys.
Gadiri, fresh off the bench, he'll take over. Saul cutting through traffic. Cleared away for now by Reynolds.
Yeah, North Texas getting plenty of bodies behind the ball.
Walker wanted the foul there as Roberts came in a bit late. North Texas back in possession though. Cervania, Reynolds to his right. He'll pass it out wide. Take it to the corner. Off of Polak, and a corner kick to North Texas.
Entry midfield.
The player is down. Roberts went down after that foul.
Midfield.
And he's still down there on top of the Legacy Early College logo.
Some pain. Thomas Roberts.
Came in a bit late there on Aaron Walker, and Walker wanted a foul, but didn't get it after limping out of the challenge.
Andrew, you want to go back more towards like 20?
Taking a look at this challenge here. Yeah, Roberts, there's no foul there. Roberts just kind of came in late and caught his leg on
One thing.
there. I think it was Aaron Walker's leg, and may have pulled a calf.
The North Texas, no subs left. See if he can continue. Pretty heavy limp. He'll have to at this point. About to hit stoppage time as well, waiting to hear word. Hope you like us, folks. It's 6 minutes of stoppage time. As Cervania stuck in the corner still. Nothing new there off the corner kick.
The fourth official
Breaks
has
through. Polak
indicated
is there,
6
looking to get it
minutes of
out.
stoppage
He'll get it
time
to
for
Walker.
the second half.
Gadiri, Boland. The Triumph moving ahead, but a pass a bit too short. Cervania, the interception. Roberts still on the sideline getting things stretched out. So for now, it looks like North Texas SC down to 10 men on the pitch. Cervania goes down on the corner flag, still no call. Gadiri going for it, out of play, throw in Triumph.
Pennsylvania didn't want to give the ball back. Eventually did. Got a shove for his troubles.
There's Roberts back on, but late step from him. He'll play the left flank. Polak settles it and barely keeps it in play. Just beyond the reach of Saul, and it's cleared. Greenville averages 10.4 shots per game through their 5 matches. They have 5 so far tonight. And it could be yet another match that, for now, North Texas holding the Triumph to 2 shots on goal. That's what they did against Orlando City B last week. And that got them a clean sheet. Will the same happen tonight? Late challenge, advantage played. Rodriguez moving ahead. Knocked down by Boland. Whistle blown. And it stays with North Texas, and it will be a free kick. Nothing new really here for the Triumph. And a frustrating 92 minutes to this point. They have about 4 more to change things. And a goal kick. Rule, Jay will take this quickly, certainly. He does out to Pollock, but a bit too heavy. And there's Dante Seeley, who has changed this game immensely since coming on as a sub. Keeping up the tempo for North Texas.
That was poor by Dallas Jay.
Long throw in by Reynolds. Headed up by Pollock. Out of play. And I guess word around the league has definitely been Ricardo Pepi, and that's all a lot of people know about this North Texas squad, but certainly they hold on here. It'll be their 3rd straight clean sheet, and of course 4-0 on the table, 12 points. So they're certainly making their stake, claiming their stake at least in this league race early on.
Listen, for a bunch of teenagers, most of whom, some of them have played together before, obviously at the academy level, but for a bunch of teenagers been put together as a new team, it's been a very impressive start for North Texas. They've done what's been needed to do. The goals haven't been flying in across the league over the last couple of weeks. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of 1-0 games this season, and North Texas have got the overall talent. And they've shown tonight on a first road trip for a bunch of these teenagers that they can be tough mentally on the road.
Ball sails in, out of play. Goal kick, Aviles. And I know, Ross, that you're getting up there in age a bit, but you don't have to keep saying a bunch of teenagers.
Well, that's
looking
what they
down
are.
on these teenagers.
I mean, you know, this is the youngest team in the league by a long way. 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds. You know, a lot of them in their first real pro season. They've come in here a long road trip and stifled this veteran Greenville Triumph team. Again, a Triumph team that is admittedly struggling on the offensive end of things. They've done what's needed to be done. Haven't looked like cracking tonight at all.
I'm in my 20s, so when I see on my prep sheet 16 and 17-year-olds, where I was in high school going to maybe proms this week.
Yeah, I mean, Greenville has been better in the second half. Things have been a lot more even in the second half, but North Texas have never looked, other than that real half chance that Jake Keegan missed, Greenville really haven't looked like threatening to tie this game at all. You have to give the North Texas defense a lot of credit with that.
Roberts powering through.
Yeah, he's taken a few kickings here in the last 5 minutes.
Looked like that may have deflected off of Pollock. Near the end of stoppage time as it's cleared up ahead by Lee. It'll go back the other way, and maybe one final chance for Jay to get up the field. But certainly one of the younger teams in the league, maybe about to go to the top of the table.
That kick there by Dallas Jay was a prime example. There was ball played into the middle. You're down 1-0. We got one Greenville Triumph player attacking the ball. It's just not good enough.
Grabbed through traffic there by Aviles. And Jota goes down too in a really crazy play. Saul walks away from it just fine.
Yeah, Cameron Saul came right through the back of Jota and then shoved him into Aviles. Take another look at it. Good ball in. North Texas made a mess of it, but good shielding by Jota to keep Saul away from that. Saul was the meat in that sandwich and got away with it.
Yeah, we're into the 7th minute of stoppage time.
Yeah, this is probably going to be it here for this one, I think.
1-0 North Texas. Foul is called. Triumph, maybe some life.
See if they can attack this ball instead of letting it drop. Here's Jay now. Again, one Greenville player going for the ball. Easy work for Jara there. Back to Villas will probably hit the ground. No, stands on his feet and that's it.
And you can see some frustration in the stands from the Reedy River Riot as Coach Eric Quill and North Texas SC get 3 points on the road. Their first road match of the season after a 3-0 run to start the season at home in Toyota Stadium. They come over to Legacy Early College in Greenville, South Carolina, and get a fresh 3 points with the help of Roberts there. And hey, they're top of the table in League One. We'll take a look at our highlights from the match, as it was Roberts getting the winning tally. And a really just frustrating night for the Triumph.
Nope, undoubtedly just couldn't get things going against this tenacious North Texas Soccer Club. Came in and did what they had to do here in a hostile environment. Here was the goal. It was a nice attack initially by North Texas, but Greenville got the ball back and then just gave it away. I think it was Kevin Paulus, perhaps. I'm not sure who it was. It deflected and that was Jay. And perhaps should have just tried to tip it over the bar. Didn't. Ball trickled into the back of the net. It was actually Aaron Walker that gave it away. I'll take that back. It was a good deflection with a spin. Jay couldn't do much about it. He won it back though, I'm sure.
Nearly all North Texas possession in that first half, but Greenville getting some chances, maybe some momentum before the break.
This is a half chance here, well cleared by Magar with Seiler creeping behind him from the back post. This one ended up being offside in the end. Very late call, but a chance by Klausner, a great save by Wills on the rebound, regardless of whether it would have counted or not. It's still a great save.
Mohammed, Bermudez, and Klaus getting touches. Just could not get that final one. As Dallas J trying to keep the squad in it.
Yeah, for a guy that's had little to do this season, that was a great save. Great double save there by Dallas J. Went down low with the legs to make the first one, then stayed down there, but made himself big to keep the second one out. This is the one that Jake Keegan won back. Wow. Superb ball in. Superb ball in by Dominic Baldwin.
After talking about that exact issue in the pregame, coming through there as Bermudez and the Triumph gang still could not get another in there. That just going wide.
A couple of extra touches there by Bermudez. Perhaps should have shot a little earlier. Lovely 1-2 here from Boland and Mohammed.
There are final stats from tonight's match, and Greenville Triumph just 5 shots overall. North Texas 8 of their own as they played the possession game for the most part, but ending split in that category.
Yeah, the stats were very close in the end. And obviously the score was as well, but North Texas dominated that first half. Greenville came back into it in the second 45, but too little too late.
A 1-0 result for North Texas SC, moving top of the table with 12 points through 4 matches. Rain stayed out of the area, but North Texas SC certainly didn't. Triumph still scoreless, trying to find a goal after not finding one tonight or in the last 2 matches before this. They'll hit the road next week looking for that win against Lansing Ignite. U.S. Open Cup midweek, and we'll be back with you with more League One action coming up next. For our entire crew, thanks for watching tonight on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.